So before using Talum 3, we had a really archaic system. It was really just managed based on spreadsheets, knowing what was in the rooms, and it was very dependent on what the technicians knew about their rooms individually. We had no concrete data or evidence to actually back up what we had. We needed to refresh gear before it failed. And refreshing that gear was one thing, but knowing which gear to refresh is key. My existing system had 40,000 items in it, and there was 50 years of data, and I couldn't really do anything with that data. I needed to move towards a system that was sustainable so that I could capacity manage within our team, be able to drive towards proactive solutions rather than a reactive solution, and then also be able to integrate all of these pieces together. You need to be able to do it anytime, anywhere, on any device. And that was a key objective of what we wanted. We wanted a web-enabled system that was easy to use. Learning Space Manager, we found, was a great product. This system, out of the gate, when we looked at it, it was like, wow, this is really meant for AV departments from a higher ed perspective. You know, colleges, polytechnics, universities, they need this. And you know, it's such a powerful product that when I started using it, it brought us up to where we needed to be right from the get-go. I was scared of actually pulling all the data out of my old system and being able to have to morph that into a new system. It was super easy. As soon as I had the LSM team on board and we had signed our documents, they were like, okay, let's set up an onboarding session to talk about how we do this. They walked us through that project plan and they said, we're not going to cut over until you're happy, which was key for us. We were just like, we need to trial this alongside our old system just to make sure it's 100%. And once all our techs were able to do that, we gave them a green light and we went live, which was fantastic. We were able to actually extract our data, send it to Talum 3. Talum 3 took it, cleansed it, morphed it into the format that they needed. They actually fixed a lot of different things. And when we did this, the feedback that we got from our faculty members was incredible. We immediately noticed that there was a change to how fast we could do things, how fast we could predict things. And what we actually noticed is we could actually model different ways of replacing systems by just playing with the catalog and the lifecycle reports. That allowed us to predict what 5 to 10 years looked like. From that, we were able to actually go after additional funding and get it granted because we could show the data behind it. We couldn't do that before with spreadsheets. We just didn't have a good story to tell. This allowed us to do that. And so I would say, you know, the return on investment on something like this is tenfold. It's so amazing. Any university, any college, any polytechnic, they're always cash strapped. So they have to put the dollars where it matters. And when you can demonstrate that the dollars matter in the classroom, that's what's powerful. How much time are we losing by a projector going down? How many classes are getting canceled? What if I can eliminate that? And I can eliminate that through proper lifecycle management, proper documentation around that. And that's what my team was able to do. They were able to demonstrate that, and we were able to achieve additional capital funding as a result of that. The biggest impact I've had using the Talum 3 platform is really the inventory module as well as the end-of-life reporting. So when I talk about inventory management, that's making sure that what's in the classroom is actually in the classroom and it's being verified once a month through our inspections. But it's a quick verification because they can see all the inventory. They're walking around with a phone or a tablet device and they're actually able to go through and verify what is actually in that classroom very quickly. They don't have to go back and cross-reference on their computer at their desk. They can have it with them anytime, any place. The biggest impact that has happened for my actual faculty members is being able to see the classrooms and being able to see classrooms with a 360 photo so that they're immersed in the classroom. That's huge. But not only that, having those other pieces in there, whether it's videos, whether it's how-to documents, whether it's as simple as like, hey, I need to know the actual access code for the AV system. Things like that were not there before. Now they are. And LSM has really helped us with that. I've been with Talum 3 for 10 years, so as a long-term partner, I'd say we love the system. Talum 3 Learning Space Manager is made by reputable people. They have a lot of confidence, a lot of knowledge in the industry. Their background is higher ed, and their background is AV. It's built and managed by the best operations team, the best development team, and the best support team. And ultimately, when you have a problem, they're there for you. You're not waiting on a line, waiting in a queue for someone from who knows where, who doesn't know the product, who's just like, can you turn it off and on again? It's not about that. They actually know their customers inside out, and they're willing to help 24/7, 365. When a company is there and listens to you and listens for your feedback on future direction, that is key. Learning Space Manager is an incredible product backed up by incredible people, and it does exactly what I need it to do. And that is manage my systems from cradle to grave.